I guess if I was a real good fisherman, I'd be able to go, I smell the striped perch. I don't, but in a sense, I kind of feel them. I feel them over here and over in here, running around looking for something to eat. And we're going to give them something. Yeah, just give us a few minutes. Let's get these boots off. We'll start the drying on these boots and these socks and these insoles. And then we'll put the bare feet back inside the bare boot until the socks and the soles dry out. All right. So it's so clear down there. You can actually see things moving around a little bit. And you can tell when something's getting fed upon. You see like something small, and all of a sudden something comes along and boom, you know, it stops farting around and it just like takes off like a rocket. That's because it's getting a ride inside some other fish's belly. That's what you got going on there. So I think there's already fish feeding down there right now. So it's time to get set up. And you lay these out in the sun. These are great socks, by the way. I have actually gotten my feet wet and then decided for safety reasons not to take my boots off, right? And do anything about it. And they keep their form and they keep the water away from your feet. And I have been in wet boots for hours before. With these particular socks, what they are is they are a type of athletic socks that are used by baseball players, I believe. Baseball and or football players. And that's what they look like. They're expensive. They're expensive, but I got them on sale when they were at Ross Dress for Less. Took a look at those. I'd never seen them before, and I said, hey, let's try them out. Now this thing I already squeezed out once. So you see that? Whew. A lot of water in there, but it is going to be hot today. It's going to be very hot today. It certainly has been hot all Veterans Day weekend. So these socks and these insoles, they won't be too long in drying out. Also the leather too. Now what happens when you put your foot inside the leather boot is that, you know, the body heat helps to get that water out of the leather and whatnot in there. And then there's this lining too. Yeah, you got to squeeze this lining along the shaft of the boot. Get that water out. That right there in the tongue. That's the same, just foamy lining stuff there. Yeah. Now another thing I could have done was brought like an extra pair of tennis shoes or something like that. But hey, we wouldn't be roughing it, right? We wouldn't be roughing it if we didn't do a couple of things off. I mean, you never know what's going to happen when you're out on the beach. So you got to be prepared and just deal with the consequences as they come. Plus, you always want to travel as light as you possibly can. You know, there's no reason why you want to carry around an extra 10 to 15 pounds if you can avoid it. Because all that's going to do is wear you out and exhaust your water supply. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I will protect my feet by still putting these boots on. See, it's very, very dry on the bottom there. It's just a little bit rough, but I'll protect my feet in event I fall in the water, or you know, I'm walking across these mussel shells, and these rocks are very sharp. So you definitely don't want to be walking across here in bare feet, even though I think I saw Ben doing it. I don't know if you remember Ben from one of my previous episodes here at Martin's Beach, but I think I saw him barefooting it at one point one day, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty rugged. You got to build your feet up for that, though. If you want to barefoot, and all you've been doing is wearing shoes your whole life, you're going to be in for a surprise. Little by little, you have got to build your feet up, the bottoms of your feet, toughen them up for walking around barefoot. Otherwise, you're just not gonna pull it off too well. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so you got those insoles all squeezed out. Get the lining of this boot here squeezed out. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's that lining right here on the shaft of the boot. It's kind of like a cloth lining. And that just goes up along the side of your ankle, so it doesn't really have the potential of giving you blisters or anything like that. These are great boots, Timberland, I swear by them. These soles here, excellent traction for slippery rocks out here. Okay, so we are going to put our feet back into these things and let our socks and our insoles dry out. Right, see? And they don't feel mushy or anything. Without the socks, without the wet socks and the wet insole and the squeezed out lining on the sides, it just feels a little bit loose because I don't got my socks on, but not too loose. Good enough. Good enough for traction, good enough to keep me safe out here on the rocks until my socks dry. Actually, this little tip, I could probably put this on a backpacking blog or something like that. What to do when you fall in the river. In this case, the biggest river on the planet, the ocean. Yeah. Here we go. There's our little sock drying station there. As you can see, dry the bottom first. The bottom is more important than the top. Okay, in this case, on the insoles, what's going to hit your foot? The top of the insole. So the tops, dry those up first. Plus, this is, well, it's pretty spongy. But we got plenty of time out here in the sun today. We're going to be here for at least 5 or 6 hours. So, you know, we're kind of stuck until the low tide comes. So those socks and those insoles are going to be dry very shortly. Look at this. Perfectly clear sky except for all the smoke coming out of Chico. Yeah. So I found my little wormy things. I Like I said, these are usually for crappie or whatever in freshwater. But I'm going to put the little sabiki hooks right through that egg thing there. Put those on the sabiki line. Can you imagine 6 of these going around like that? That's going to attract somebody over. So, let's get to doing that now. The question is, how do you do it? How do you put them on there? First time using these things. Okay, maybe just put the egg right on the tip, I guess. I don't know, doesn't expose the point that well. I guess another way to do it is to run the egg past the point, run it up here, kind of covers those feathers though, but, and then pop a little bit of the worm across that. With that, we try a couple of different techniques for doing this and see what works. Fish aren't exactly out there eating with any form of table manners, so it's hard to say exactly where how they're going to approach biting these things. Let's say this is hanging like that. Oh, and the neat thing about sabiki too, when you're in an area like this where you got a lot of seaweed and things that you don't want the hooks catching on to, is that actually by putting that like that, that'll keep the hooks from. Now the neat thing about a sabiki too is this leader here is a little bit lighter than this. This is like 30 pound and this is like 20 pound. So if this gets caught, hopefully you just break off that one hook and you lose the one hook on the sabiki. But actually if you put the egg like that, that'll help to keep this. So as you can see, we took the smart approach and we moved towards higher ground here. And actually, if we don't get too many big waves here, most of this green moss right now is very dry and it's not slippery. So look what I found out here on the rocks, washing up. Almost anything you find out here can be used as a decent bait. Actually, I'll throw it to the side. Might use that a little bit later on. 2.5 foot, 12 pound leader with my favorite Cajun line. Actually, for the bottom line that you want breaking off, you might not use a durable good line like this and try to use something cheaper. Problem is I bought some of that throwaway 8-pound test, and that's exactly what it was. It was breaking off way too easy, and you don't want to do that either. I mean, you want to at least be able to struggle and work your weight out of the rock, possibly, with the last case scenario being that you actually break here comes the water again. Again, we're in a much better spot now. No water over here, it's all over there. But your last case scenario is that you lose your weight on a little bit of your line. And you lose as little as possible. Okay, so we're gonna put this on one side, the barrel end. The barrel swivel. Pop this on here. And that's going to be what leads to the weight or to the stone bag, the sand bag, whatever you want to call it. That's one side. And there's the other side. There's the side that's going to hang from the sabiki there. Going to go down here with the 12-pound test, a couple of feet down, about 2.5 feet. And then I think I'm going to start off with a 2-ounce. I'm going to start off with a 2-ounce torpedo weight and see what we can do. Here's what we got. Actually, we're going to try a little barefoot in here. Let the boots dry out a little bit more on their own in the sun. Squeeze them out a little bit. Got a little more water off them. But see where I'm standing here? This stuff is slippery as heck. Now, if this wasn't dry, all this green moss here, I definitely would keep my boots on. But it was actually kind of cushiony and unslippery. So as long as the water doesn't jump up here, once the water wets this stuff, the boots are going back on. Meanwhile, it's going to help them dry a little better. So here's our setup. Here's our initial striped perch setup for today. Sabiki line with crappie worms, or whatever you call those things. I don't remember. I pulled them out of the packet and threw the packet away. I don't care what they're called. Okay, there's a 12-pound test at the very bottom to break off if this torpedo weight gets stuck on a rock. And I'm starting out with a 3-ounce torpedo because the incoming tide right now it's always a little bit stronger as you're rushing towards a high tide. And so I might as well start out with this. I got 2 ounces I could use later. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what ounce you use. If you put a 4-ounce off to start with, it doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't. It's just a matter of how much money you want to spend on weights. The bigger weights cost a little bit more. We're going to throw it right over there to start with and start jigging it since we got worms on there. I want it to go a little bit farther out. I know when you get closer in here, you got some rocks right there. Well, you look at that. Here's what it looks like when you jig it. Huh? That'll attract some attention. Oh yeah. When this is dry, this is very soft. It's nice on the feet. It's nice to go barefoot once in a while too. Also, if you're going to come out here, I sure hope you can swim. I'm a real good swimmer. Okay, it worked just like I said it would. But it's a little bit stupid. I know exactly where that rock is there. But got caught on the rock. 12-pound test broke off. I still got my jig. Just lost the weight. So I got to put another weight on there.